right, it's day number 27 in the month of April 2027. Good evening and welcome to Iron Port here on Metropolitan Television. It's a beautiful Sunday evening. And remember, Iron Port is proudly brought to you by the Ghana Revenue Authority, Gwell PLC, Serene Insurance, Ghana Link Network Services, Meridian Port Services, MPS, and indeed, Phoenix Insurance. The show is proudly powered by the Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority-GPHA. And our media partner on this journey of a lifetime is the Business and Financial Times, the BNFT. Now, if you want to have a grasp of all the transpired on the show tonight, make a date and grab the Thursday edition of the BNFT, and you'll be able to read all that happened here on the show tonight. Tonight, as usual, we're streaming live on our social media pages. On Facebook, we are live at Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority. Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority. Still on Facebook, we are live at Port of Tema. And on YouTube, we are streaming live at Iron Port. Now, as usual, we're getting interactive with you, and so all you have to do is sit back, relax, grab your phones, and send us your messages and comments via our dedicated WhatsApp line, which is 0538-037353. 0538-037353. And when the time is right, and I pick signals from the production team, we shall activate the phone lines for you to call in and contribute to the discussion. My name is Kennedy. More now, we are going for a quick break. When we return, we'll continue the show. Please stay with us.
Good energy brings you quality choices with Goil Super XP. Available in many Goil stations nationwide. It is fortified with special additives that help your engine perform better and use less fuel. Branch into a Goil station today and energize your ride with Goil Super XP, compatible with most vehicles. Goil Super XP, Wufilia, huh? Wubefeel. Goil, good energy. Ja, ya, ya.
Electricity, then pay your taxes. Yeah. Our taxes, our future.
Because you see, without our taxes, we wouldn't have good roads, good schools, better hospitals, street lights, and other very important social amenities. When we pay our taxes, we give our children free and quality education. Talga, my money too small. Why should I pay my tax? Look, small. Salifo, it doesn't matter how small or big your business or income is. You still have to pay your taxes. The little taxes from each and every one of us, when put together, could give your community clean water or that deprived school with tables and chairs. Please pay your taxes. It is your responsibility. It is your civic duty. It is the law.
MPS Terminal 3 is Africa's new state-of-the-art container terminal at Tema Port. For manufacturers, agro-processors and traders, the new port means business can be done faster. This infrastructure boost will improve Ghana's port handling capacity, connect more trading routes, and oil the engine of growth for the economy, creating greater opportunities across all sectors as Africa's markets merge and become the largest trading bloc globally. MPS, we connect, you thrive.
Business and life can be like the sea sometimes. Sometimes serene, sometimes calm, sometimes turbulent, and at times it brings the unexpected. However it is like, trust Phoenix Insurance for your home, car, business, and marine insurance needs. Call 0302 246 319 or 0243 690 492.
At Phoenix, you experience a delightful service delivered with wisdom.
All right, so welcome back. It's now time for us to take a look at happenings in the port and shipping industry over the last week.
The Chartered Institute of Logistics and Transport, CILT, Ghana, has successfully hosted its maiden CEO's breakfast meeting focused on the transport and logistics sector. Held under the theme, Competitiveness of Ghana's Logistic and Transport Sector, the event brought together industry leaders for an insightful dialogue on the future of the sector. The breakfast meeting has been designed as a strategic platform for executives to exchange ideas, address key business challenges, explore growth opportunities, and engage in open discussions on critical issues shaping the logistics and transport landscape in Ghana. In his address, the Minister for Transport, Honorable Joseph Bukari Nikpe, underscored the importance of stakeholder collaboration in overcoming the sector's pressing challenges and enhancing its overall efficiency and impact.
Together with you, we will ensure the necessary reforms are undertaken so that His Excellency John Dramani Mahama's vision of resetting this economy will be achieved. I therefore encourage you to share your insights on best practices and emerging trends that will benefit the resetting agenda and to the larger growth of our economy.
Speaking at the event, President of CILT Ghana, Engineer Mark Amwama, emphasized the Institute's commitment to fostering a culture of collaboration and knowledge sharing among CEOs. He noted that such engagements are crucial for identifying sustainable solutions and advancing the transport, shipping and logistics ecosystem in Ghana.
The pivot of this whole program is about an open kind of discussions, pointing out and ensuring that we all come into a kind of a common, agreeable action points. These points will be made available and to the policymakers, to the government who are supposed to get these things implemented. And CILT has taken it upon itself to continue interactions with the government and the policymakers who are expected to be able to action these particular points that this particular meeting is going to come out with.
Industry experts also weighed in, sharing insights on practical strategies to enhance the competitiveness of Ghana's transport and logistics sector on both regional and global fronts.
The maritime sector is all about how we position ourselves to take the advantages in the blue economy. He talked about liner shipping, he talked about the shipyard and dry dock. Only recently I have presented a paper in which they were wondering that how come we want to export something to Cameroon and it's so expensive? And I said it will continue to be expensive. You know, because the facilities are not there, you are not running a liner service.
It is also necessary for us to realize that Ghanaian industries need to learn to upskill, create volume, and that we need to have a pricing and fair strategy for everything we do, because you cannot have a proper pricing strategy outside the rules of origin or the ETLS, which already exists in ECOWAS, or the rules of origin, which is part of the AFCFTA. Because if we take a competitive advantage, it forces many industries to locate here in the export processing zones we will create, and that is how we get the competitive advantage we are talking about.
In the case of the AFCFTA, we've worked on the regulatory framework for the trade, and we assumed that the main problem we were solving was the tariffs. So if we remove the tariffs between the African countries, then trade will flow. And now we have made people to agree on it. I will not go into the policy aspect of the collaboration between the policymaker and the policy taker. I will assume that we all agree that it's a good thing.
I believe that with the new law that Ghana Shippers Authority has come out with, it should do a lot of good to these administrative charges to bring an end to it. And I believe that Ghana Shippers Authority will be in a better position to do so with their new law.
The Port of Tema continues to reinforce its position as West Africa's most advanced trade gateway following the arrival of MSC Tekia, one of the world's largest container vessels, on Saturday, April 26, 2025. This historic event comes just days after the port welcomed MSC Deleta on Easter Sunday, April 20, marking a remarkable week for Ghana's maritime sector. With a capacity of 24,346 20-foot equivalent units, MSC Tekia now stands as one of the biggest container ships ever to call not just Ghana, but the entire sub-Saharan African region. The 400-meter-long, 61.3-meter-wide vessel is part of MSC's Mega Max 24 class and features cutting-edge technology that enhances fuel efficiency and reduces carbon emissions, further reflecting MSC's commitment to sustainable shipping. The vessel's arrival in the port of Tema is part of MSC's Africa Express service, a dedicated shipping route that connects key ports across Asia and Africa. A ceremonial gathering to welcome the port call of this giant container ship saw the presence of Minister for Transport Joseph Bukari Nipe, the Director General of the Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority, Brigadier General Paul Seidu Tanya Kulono, Director of the Port of Tema Tibon Zuma, Commissioner of Customs Brigadier General Ashong Anand, CEO of Meridian Port Services Mohammed Samara, Managing Director of MSC Ghana Gamisi, and other top public officials and captains of industry.
I want to tell the business world that Ghana has the capacity, we have the facilities, we have the human resource base to be able to handle, no matter what size your ship or your vessel will be. Ghana has that kind of capacity to handle whatever you want to do in the maritime trade. And we are prepared to continue to provide and improve upon our facilities.
The government of Ghana through GPHA, together with our value partners, MPS, has transformed the landscape of our port infrastructure. What once was a vision is now a reality.
The earlier ship took her 17 days to come from Southeast Asia all the way to here. This is the fastest and the most efficient transit time that we have seen over time. A couple of years ago, Ghana was covered through a 40-day to 50-day transit time. Today, it's under 20 days. This is a big achievement, Your Honorable.
MSC has always strived to connect West Africa and especially Ghana to the rest of the world through its extensive maritime network. Today, the arrival of the 24,000 TEU vessel with a length of 400 meters reflects the vision that he has always had to connect Africa with the rest of the world.
A ceremonial handing over of the key to phase 2 of the expansion project by the project contractors to the MPS team also took place on the same day. Just a few days earlier, MSC Deleta had set a record with its maiden call to Tema, boasting a capacity of 23,964 TEUs. Its successful berthing by the Marine Operations team, led by the Harbour Master Captain Bramo Tevia, highlighted Tema Port's readiness to handle vessels of such scale. The back-to-back calls of both vessels underscore the strength of Tema Port's infrastructure and operations. Terminal 3's deep draft key, wide turning basin, modern gantry cranes, and advanced terminal operating systems are now enabling the regular handling of ultra-large container vessels up to 24,000 plus TEU capacity. Ghana's emergence as a premier destination for luxury cruises was vividly demonstrated this month when the country's ports welcomed 3 distinguished vessels in quick succession. SH Diana arrived at Tema on Easter Sunday, April 20, with 170 guests and 129 crew. The very next day, April 21, she made history as only the second cruise ship ever to call at the GPHA-managed Elmina Fishing Harbour. 185 passengers were transferred offshore by Zodiac boats into waiting coaches for excursions, confirming Elmina's safety and convenience as Ghana's 3rd cruise stop destination.
Since we left Cape Town, then from Namibia, from Angola, from like we stopped in Ponto Noir in Congo, in Santo Tomé Príncipe, in Guinea Equatorial, we've been trying our best to buy some local flair to put on our menus. As being a corporate chef Julian, one of the importance, and Elmina is no different than the others, and we really want to explore. And also our guests get to see what's that part of Ghana. And yeah, I mean, it's a whole new experience.
We came together, put our heads together, had to plan on how, first of all, we will ensure the safety and security of our visitors, which are the passengers, secure the vessel, and make sure that they had an experience, a lasting experience that will live with them throughout their stay here on Earth.
There has been excitement around Elmina and Cape Coast because if you look around me, the local economy sadly has come up, and it's because of the excitement of these vessels that are visiting. You know, tourism boosts the local economy.
Ashanti Africa Tour Company, whose tours span Ghana, Togo, Benin, Sierra Leone, and Côte d'Ivoire, added that they had arranged shore excursions for SH Diana and many fellow vessels along the West African coast.
We take them to sites such as Shah Hills, Kakom National Park in Cape Coast, and then also in Ivory Coast, where Grand Bassam in Ivory Coast. So you name it, the tourist sites that are at every destination that we visit, we make sure that they experience Ghana. It's not only Ghana sites, but the food, the people, as well as the activities.
The very next day, Easter Monday, April 21, Tema welcomed the Silver Wind, sister ship to Silver Dawn, which called on March 22 as part of her West Africa leg on a world tour itinerary. With a length of 162.6 meters and width of 21.4 meters, she was one of the largest ships yet to call at the port. On Sunday, April 26, the Iron Port team were present for the return of Crystal Symphony, which last visited in December 2024. At 238 meters in length, her repeat call highlighted Ghana's rise in popularity as a cruise destination on the west coast of Africa. Tebon Zuma has officially assumed office as the new director of the Port of Tema, following his appointment by President John Dramani Mahama last week. A brief handing over ceremony was held on Friday, April 25, at the headquarters of the Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority, where Sandra Opoku formally passed the mantle to Tebon Zuma. A lawyer and chartered accountant by profession, Tebon Zuma brings over 2 decades of leadership experience in finance, legal affairs, internal audit, maritime operations, logistics and infrastructure development within Ghana's ports and shipping industry. Until his appointment, he served as the general manager for finance at GPHA, having previously held various management roles at both the Tema and Takoradi ports. His expertise is expected to drive strategic growth and innovation at Tema Port, positioning it as a critical hub for regional and global commerce. At the handing over ceremony, Sandra Opoku expressed gratitude for the support she received from her management team and urged her successor to maintain strong relationships with staff and stakeholders.
I had a good team, management team that I related to. And so that's what I wish for you, that you relate well with them. And then the stakeholders.
The new director of Port, Tebon Zuma, thanked the Director General of GPHA, Brigadier General Paul Seydou Tanya Kulono, for his leadership and the seamless transition process. He also expressed appreciation to Sandra Opoku for her guidance.
The support so far, the handing over was smooth. We went through one by one, and there are some pieces of advice she's given here. She gave them to me, and I appreciate that.
The Director General, Brigadier General Tanya Kulono, commended the outgoing director for her dedicated service and sacrifices and encouraged the new director to stand firm in his new role.
First of all, we want to thank Mrs. Sandra Opoku for your stewardship and then the work that you have performed to GPHA and the country Ghana. Mr. Zuma, I also want to take this opportunity to tell you that it will not be easy, but stand firm. I know you can make it. And to those of us who are here witnessing, as much as possible, the support that we give to Sandra, let's extend same to him so that he will also succeed. In the end, if he succeeds, GPHA will succeed, Ghana will succeed.
and VTIMS systems to manage vessel movements and maritime safety. However, these have now been augmented with the installation of a sophisticated security software that enables real-time tracking and detection of potential threats or abnormalities within the port environment. The new system not only strengthens current capabilities, but also lays the foundation for a comprehensive, unified security framework. It is designed to seamlessly integrate with systems such as CCTV and access control, significantly improving situational awareness and incident response. With this upgrade, the Port Authority can maintain 24-hour surveillance of vessel movements within the port. On the sidelines of a training session for port control staff on the new equipment, a facilitator from Magal Solutions underscored the critical importance of building local capacity to operate and manage the system effectively.
This will allow them also to actually realize when a vessel is parking or docking at a place it shouldn't, or any other violation of breach of security will be reported directly to that software. Also, Fortix, being a very robust and flexible software, will allow the port in the future to connect and upgrade the system and add to it any other systems.
A participant of the training program also shared his experience and thoughts on the value of the session.
This is going to expand our horizon and also give us opportunity to meet our target as signalers. Looking at what we have been learning here, we could see that now we can cover all our waters, and then also our security system also is going to be back.
All right, those were happenings in the port and shipping industry over the week, and we're now going to take our word of phrase of the day. And remember, the word of phrase of the day has been fashioned to bring you up to speed with the terminologies and jargons we use in the shipping industry. And today, we're taking a look at gate in. Gate in.
Gate in. Gate in is a term used to describe when a container enters the terminal. The shipper must have made a booking with the shipping line before the container is allowed to enter the area.
All right, so on the health and safety tip for the week, we're taking a look at maintenance. Maintenance.
Maintenance. All lifting appliances and loose gear should be maintained in good working order and in efficient condition and good repair. Maintenance, including lubrication, should be carried out on a regular scheduled basis in accordance with the manufacturer's recommendations and operational experience.
All right, we're zooming into our discussion proper tonight, and tonight we're taking a look at Tax and Good Governance Month. That's from the Ghana Revenue Authority. They've designated April 2025 as a Tax and Good Governance Month, and this is to help engender, compliance in terms of getting organizations and individuals to pay their personal income tax, file their personal income tax, and also generally to drum home the need for tax compliance or for people to pay tax. This month is also characterized by the filing of tax returns by all individuals and entities. And so we've gotten two representatives from the Domestic Tax Revenue Division of the Ghana Revenue Authority to throw more light on the Tax and Good Governance Month, April 2025. That's from the Ghana Revenue Authority. With us in the studios tonight, I'm proud to introduce to us, ladies first, they say, Madam Felicia Omotayo Owusu. She's a Principal Revenue Officer at the Domestic Tax Revenue Division of the Ghana Revenue Authority. Good evening, ma'am, and welcome.
Good evening.
Absolutely. She's no stranger to the show. She's been here before. So, yes, we're glad to have you back.
Thank you.
Absolutely. And also with us in the studios, Mr. Victor Akogo. Mr. Victor Akogo is Chief Revenue Officer also at the Domestic Tax Revenue Division, Ghana Regional Authority, who is also with us in the studio. So let me begin with you, Madam Omotayo, and get you to tell us. Once again, I mentioned what it is about, but if you can go into details and tell us what the Tax and Good Governance Month of the GRA is about.
Thank you. Good evening to all our viewers, and a warm regards from the Commissioner General, Management and staff of the Ghana Revenue
Authority. Absolutely, yeah.
To our cherished taxpayers.
Right.
So rightly, as you said, Tax and Good Governance Month, we have decided to choose the month of April as our Tax and Good Governance Month. Why are we choosing April? We are choosing April because it is an important month on our calendar. We do ensure that it is required by law that every individual who has transacted business is supposed to file a tax return.
Right.
And then for entities too, they are supposed to file a tax return. A section of the law indicates that 4 months after conducting business, you are supposed to file a tax return to us. Hence, we have dedicated this month to increase awareness on the need and importance of filing tax returns. There are so many benefits of filing tax returns.
Right.
So that is why we are here today. It is our responsibility to educate our cherished taxpayers. We believe that if we educate them, they will voluntarily comply with the tax laws.
So you mentioned there are so many benefits of filing tax returns. What are some of these benefits, if you'd oblige us?
So one of the benefits is that you would end up paying the right taxes that are due you. Another benefit that you will obtain is personal reliefs. There are reliefs that the government gives to us. Example is marriage relief. We have child education with a maximum of 3 kids, one child earning 600 cedis per year. So if you have 3 kids, it means that you are going to earn 1,800 Ghana cedis.
Yes.
And also there are allowable expenses that you incur during your business. It means that you would have to deduct all these allowable expenses such that it will reduce your taxable amount.
Right.
So if you don't file your tax returns, you would not be able to enjoy all these benefits. The same way that a taxpayer has rights, it means that there is an obligation too for the taxpayer.
All right. I'll still stay with you just one more time and find out from you. I have here, a person is required to file a return on income at most 4 months, after the end of the basis period of the person. What does that mean?
Okay, so let me explain that. Thank you so much. For individuals, when we say basis period, we are looking at the calendar year. The calendar year is January to December.
Right.
But for entities, companies, we are looking at the accounting period.
Right.
So they would have variations. Most of them use the calendar year, but some also have overlapping years. So if your basis period ends within another year, it crosses to another year, then it means that if, for example, if it ends in June 2024, then it means that 4 months after June, you are required to file your return of income to us. But for individuals especially, they don't have any choice.
Right.
They are using the calendar year, which is from January to December.
Awesome. All right, so let me come to Mr. Kogo and find out from you, apart from filing the tax returns, which you seek to promote, basically with the Tax and Good Governance Month, what other activities are lined up for this particular month, if you would indulge us?
Yeah, thank you very much. Taxation by itself is complex and technical, and it needs people to assist them. So this month, we have scheduled a lot of stakeholder engagements where tax clinics are also going to be organized, and all our regional officers have been trained to be able to interact with taxpayers, to take some feedbacks from them about challenges that they face in trying to file their tax returns and make payment, in order to avoid penalties and interest that may accrue.
Yes.
So a lot of activities have been lined up: webinars, stakeholder engagement, tax clinic, and a lot of, educational activities to promote understanding of the taxation, because taxes are complex and technical and need to be, taught to taxpayers to promote voluntary tax compliance.
I'm told these tax clinics will be done in all regional capitals.
Correct. They are going to be done in all regional capitals, and office managers are going to mount the clinic and going to ensure that taxpayers are properly educated on their rights and their obligations, and also challenges that they face in filing their tax return. They provide solutions to them.
We are in the Greater Accra region, so where will the tax clinic be held here in Accra?
Okay, so we have a lot of taxpayer service centers around. We have the largest taxpayer service center, which is the LTO at Circle. We also have the Teshinungwa taxpayer service centers at Denta Medina. So all Accra, in general, we have the 27 taxpayer service centers, and in all we have 60 taxpayer service centers across the country.
Wow.
So we're going to organize these tax clinics over there. And we're going to mount some, clinics even at the shopping malls. Okay, Accra Shopping Mall, Teshi Shopping Malls. So these tax clinics are also going to be, mounted over there.
Right. Yes, you want to add something?
Yes, we've started last Thursday in collaboration with the Society of Women in Taxation, of which I'm part.
Okay.
We held a tax education at the Dome Market, where we had to educate the informal sector on the need of filing their tax returns. So it's ongoing.
Society of Women in Taxation.
Society of Women in Taxation.
Hey.
It's the female wing of the Chartered Institute of Tax.
Ah, okay, all right, I see. Basically, what do you seek to do?
We seek to educate in the informal sectors.
Particularly women?
Women, yes.
Okay.
Because we know that if we train the woman, if we educate the woman, as it says, that we have educated the whole nation.
Absolutely. Awesome. That was a digression. I just saw that too. All right, so let me come back to you, Mr. Koko, before I return to Madam Omotayo. You mentioned that some of these tax centers, tax clinics, seeks to help address some of the challenges that people face when they are filing their taxes. What are some of the challenges, common challenges that you encounter people face when they come to file their taxes? What do they report to you? What do you gather?
Okay, thank you very much. Taxes are the lifeblood of every nation.
Yes.
And it forms a significant portion of Ghana's revenue.
Absolutely.
And for that matter, anybody who faces challenges in filing a tax return must be addressed to.
Absolutely.
Some of the challenges that they face is the due date for filing the return. To them, some of them feel that it falls on the weekend, some of them falls on holidays.
Yes.
Are due to, file before the weekend or file before the holidays. Okay, but the key issue is that a taxpayer portal has been, formed, GRA has gone cashless.
Right.
And for that matter, we are filing our tax return using the taxpayer portal.
Absolutely.
www.taxpayerportal.
Right.
It's an online self-service portal that has been made available to the taxpayers.
Right.
By a click of a button, they can file all their tax return. And the return is basically a declaration of income that they have earned in the past.
Right.
Every individual earns income, be it in the form of employment, business, or investment.
Sure.
Employment in the sense that he's an employee, at the end of the month, he receives income.
Absolutely.
And business, he's, availing himself for service or selling goods and therefore earning income.
Yes.
Investment in the sense that he has rented some property out of which he's earning income. That is passive activity that he's undertaking.
Right.
These people ought to file tax return, make a declaration formally to the government or the appropriate authority that these are the incomes that I've earned in the past. Therefore, I ask whether it is the correct amount of tax that I have paid or I have overpaid my tax. If you've overpaid your tax, then a refund ought to be given to you. So the due processes are put in place for a refund to be made available to you.
Right.
So about the challenges, they ask, the return that they have filed, when there is overpayment, do you refund it to us or how do they go about it? These are some of the challenges that they face and the solutions that we provide for them.
Now, would you say that some people, for lack of knowledge, in the sense that they probably have overpaid and perhaps do not know that they are supposed to come for a refund, what's the process they can use to access their refund?
Okay, thank you. So the first thing is they have to file a tax return. If you have not filed a return, how will we know that you have paid taxes in excess? So when they file the return, we would also have to examine the return.
Yes.
If they have made overpayment of taxes, they have within 3 years for them to file for a tax refund.
Right.
If it's truly that they deserve the refund, first of all, we'll sit with them. They are taxpayers, so we'll have to sit with them. If there is a need for, if they have any outstanding tax liabilities that they have not paid, then it means that we would have to use it to offset it. And if they have to top up, they will top up.
Yes.
If there is an excess, we would have to also give it to them. But it needs, they have to write.
Right.
We don't just give tax refunds.
Absolutely.
We have a tax refund account. They have to write to us. And then the Commissioner General would assess it and then make sure that if really the person deserves
There's
it,
merit
we
in
would,
the claim.
we would give it to him. Within 90 days, we would give your money back to you.
I think that one word that has run through this discussion is tax return, tax return. Take us to basics. What is a tax return?
So basic tax returns.
Yes.
It is a statutory declaration.
Yes.
You are supposed to declare whatever that went on in your business during the year of assessment. And we have a prescribed form for that. You can access that form on our website, on the taxpayers portal. So what basically happens is that you are telling us exactly the information, things that went on during your business flow within that particular year of assessment. That is basically about tax returns.
All right, so I'm told that the tax law requires taxpayers to accurately complete and submit tax returns to GRA on or before their due dates.
Yes, please.
Okay, a typical tax return shows details of the taxpayer's name, personal identification number, current tax office, and the period for which the return is being made.
So on the form, when you pick the form, we need to identify you.
Right.
So we will identify you by the TIN, so the tax identification number,
Yes.
your company name, and then the other details.
Right.
So that other details, we have what we call the whatever that went on.
Yes.
We have the fixed asset side,
Right.
and then we have all other details. It means that there are deductions. Okay. So when I was talking earlier on, I mentioned that one of the benefits that you earn is allowable expenses.
Right.
These allowable expenses will reduce your taxable value. So on the return, we have allowable expenses.
Right.
And then we'll show you even how to compute your taxes.
Okay.
So on that return, there are lots of information there. So I always educate that even if you don't know how to keep records, use that return. Go onto our taxpayers portal, check the return, and then you can know the necessary books that you would have to keep so that when the need comes for you to file your tax returns, it will guide you. Because this is the prescribed form that the Commissioner General expects you to use in filing the tax returns.
Right. Thank you very much. Mr. Akogo?
Yeah, to add to that, I want to make reference to the 1992 Constitution, Article 41J.
Okay.
That talks
Article
about
41G.
J.
Okay.
J.
Okay.
Talks about the duties of citizen. And it states that individuals must honestly disclose their income to the appropriate authorities and pay the taxes.
Right.
Here, the appropriate authority is the Ghana Revenue Authority. So any individual, entity that earns an income ought to make a declaration to the appropriate authority and pay the relevant taxes that goes on. Individual, we are referring to self-employed persons.
Yes.
And also, we are referring to employees. We refer to partners in partnership. Then we also talk about directors of companies and expatriates.
Yes.
These are individuals who have earned income in the past as a result of services that they have rendered or as a result of goods and services that they have disposed of.
Yes.
So the law enjoins them. And it is the basic requirement of the law and an obligation for every taxpayer that if you earn an income, make a disclosure of that income to the appropriate authority. So GRA believes in fairness, and we are guided by integrity. You see, so if you honestly disclose the income, then you pay the appropriate taxes on it. Even if you have overpaid your taxes, a refund is made to you. And the refund account has been established, and people applied for them. We also talk about business entities.
Yes.
They make profit at the end of the year.
Right.
Every business is established with the aim of making profit. So the law says that if you earn a profit in your previous year of business transaction, make a declaration to the Ghana Revenue Authority.
Yes.
And by making that declaration, you are filing a tax return.
Right.
Okay, so if you file the tax return, we give you the opportunity to take out the expenses that you incur in generating your profit. And when a chargeable income is established or the profit is established, 25% of it as a corporate entity will pay to government.
Right.
And as individual, you are taxed based on a graduated rate.
Right.
The higher your income, the higher the tax that you pay. And the lower the income, the lower the tax you pay. Basically, this is how the return goes. The return also, I may want to say that it is annual return and also monthly return. For individuals who are employees, directors, and partners in partnership, they file annual returns.
Okay.
There are other people that government has picked up as agents. They take out withholding taxes.
Right.
And for employees, we call them PAYE. And also
Pay as you earn.
Pay as you earn. Then we also have VAT agents.
Right.
Okay. They must also file monthly return, making a declaration to government that at the past month, I collected this on your behalf, and for that matter, on or before 15th of the following month, I make a declaration. So government, honestly, this is how much I collected on your behalf, and this is how much I am paying to you.
Right, right. Okay, and for my substantive question to you was going to be, who it is that is qualified to pay or to file a tax return, so to speak?
So to answer to that, like I said, the individuals. And the individual, we look at self-employed.
Right.
We look at directors of companies. We look at expatriates.
Yes.
And we look at, chief executives.
Yeah.
Managing directors of business. They are individuals,
Right.
and they ought to file return
Yes.
to the appropriate authority.
Right.
We also have corporate entities.
Yes.
Okay, the companies, the trust, the partnership. These are entities that are formed with the aim of making profit.
Right.
So they ought to disclose this income to the appropriate authority. There are companies limited by guarantee.
Yes.
They also ought to file return. And the return due date is on or before the 4th month of the following year.
Yes.
So these are entities and individuals who by law enjoins for them to file returns.
Returns. Okay. So I have here all businesses registered by the Registrar General's Department, including sole proprietors, partnerships, companies, trusts, and public enterprises and corporations, as well as persons or entities who earn income on offshore investments and businesses, etc. Now, let me come to you. I want to find out. We've always talked about expanding the tax net and all that, and you've done everything possible, to rope everybody in. You've initiated moves and all that. I don't know whether that has yielded needed dividends, but one thing that people keep talking about is online sales. I do a lot of online purchases. You go online, you see something, you're shopping for an accessory. Within 20 minutes, within 24 hours, it's delivered to you, and they pay. And these people make a lot of money. And I guess these are not people that are captured in the tax net, because what you are fixated at or on are those that have locations that you can walk into and all those things. How are you going to leverage your acumen to be able to reach these people to get them to pay? Because they make, believe me, some of them make more money than those that you have captured. Absolutely,
those
yes.
that are outside it.
Yes.
Okay. So what happens is that we have e-commerce departments,
Mm.
and they are responsible for all these things.
Okay.
So for now, they are being captured.
Online and track those doing online sales. Okay.
Exactly.
Okay.
So for now, they are being monitored. So it's
Okay.
not like first that we would have to say that they are not paying anything.
Yeah.
We are using them. So the e-commerce department, you see,
Okay.
in GRA, we have a lot of responsibilities.
Yes.
And so we have various departments. So
Mm.
what I would say is that viewers should be relaxed and be rest assured that these people are being captured now.
Yes.
So we are using them to expand the tax net. So the e-commerce department, they are responsible for that.
Mm. Okay, so
To add to that,
yes.
I want to say that the law that empowers us to charge the tax is premised on voluntary compliance.
Right.
The law says that if you are into business, be it online business or bricks and mortar business,
You must necessarily
register with Ghana Revenue Authority. After registering, we assign a tax type to you,
Yes.
be it personal income tax, corporate income tax, pay as you earn, withholding taxes, depending on the nature of business that you are undertaking.
Right.
Then you would make a declaration at the end of every month or at the end of the year.
Yes.
Then make payment to government. If you fail to make the payment or register
Yes.
or file return, then enforcement triggers in, because the e-commerce department will go online and track you.
Yes.
And if they are able to get you, then they apply sanctions for failure to register, failure to file returns, and failure to make taxes.
Right.
These sanctions are punitive enough. That is why we seize this opportunity to educate all persons doing business, both physical and also online business, to please identify the nearest GRA authority office and register, or go online and use the online portal for the e-commerce and register the business and be able to make a declaration and make payment. Thank you.
Awesome. All right. Great. So this is our report here on Metro TV. Tonight we are discussing the Tax and Good Governance Month of the Ghana Regional Authority, which is April 2025. And with us in the studios, Mr. Victor Akogo, who is a Chief Revenue Officer with the Domestic Tax Division, Revenue Division of the Ghana Regional Authority. And indeed, also in the studios, Madam Felicia Omotayo Owusu, also a Principal Revenue Officer, Domestic Tax Revenue Division, Ghana Regional Authority. We're going for a quick break. When we return, we'll continue the show. Please stay with us.
Good energy brings you quality with Goil Super XP. Available in many Goil stations nationwide. It is fortified with special additives that help your engine perform better and use less fuel. Branch into a Goil station today and energize your ride with Goil Super XP, compatible with most vehicles. Goil Super XP. Wufilia. Huh? Wubefeel. Goil. Good energy. Yeah, yeah.
Electricity, then pay your taxes. Yeah. Our taxes, our future.
Because you see, without our taxes, we wouldn't have good roads, good schools, better hospitals, street lights, and other very important social amenities. When we pay our taxes, we give our children free and quality education. Tell God, my money too small. Why should I pay my tax? Look, small. Salifo, it doesn't matter how small or big your business or income is. You still have to pay your taxes. The little taxes from each and every one of us, when put together, could give your community clean water. Or that deprived school with tables and chairs. Please pay your taxes. It is your responsibility. It is your civic duty. It is the law.
MPS Terminal 3 is Africa's new state-of-the-art container terminal at Tema Port. For manufacturers, agro-processors and traders, the new port means business can be done faster. This infrastructure boost will improve Ghana's port handling capacity, connect more trading routes, and oil the engine of growth for the economy, creating greater opportunities across all sectors as Africa's markets merge and become the largest trading bloc globally. MPS, we connect, you thrive.
Business and life can be like the sea sometimes serene, sometimes calm, sometimes turbulent, and at times it brings the unexpected. However it is like, trust Phoenix Insurance for your home, car, business, and marine insurance needs. Call 0302 246 319 or 0243 690 492.
At Phoenix, you experience a delightful service delivered with wisdom.
All right, so welcome back. I've been told by the production team that we can activate the phone lines for you to call in if you have any question or suggestion or any comment. You are welcome to do so. The number to dial will be shown on your screen right pretty shortly, and it is 0245834980. 0245834980. You can call in and contribute to the discussion. Now, let me come back to you, Madam Omotayo, and find out from you how I can file my tax returns. If you can walk us through the steps.
Okay.
Pretty shortly, we shall be going into the inbox to bring your messages as well. So, yes.
It's very simple.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Whatever that you have to do, what you are supposed to do is just go onto the computer and then use either your phone or your computer, download the Taxpayers Portal app. It is very simple. Right. When you go to Play Store, you can download it. When you download it, you have to use your registered credentials to log onto the system.
Right.
When you log onto the system, it is simple. We have made it very simple that you see a pop-up that indicates that if you have to file a tax return, you click on it, and then the return type that you are supposed to file, whether it's a PAYE return, whether it's a PIT return that you are supposed to file. But for these purposes, we are emphasizing on what personal income tax returns and then CIT. They have to file their tax returns by 30th for all individuals, by 30th of April, and then companies who are using the calendar year also by 30th of April.
Right.
So after that, if you click on it, it will take you to the form for you to complete the necessary fields.
Right.
If you complete the necessary fields, then you can proceed and send it. When you send it and there is a tax liability for you to pay, a pop-up will show that indicates that, are you ready to pay now?
Yeah, sure.
So if it is pay now, then you click on that. If you are ready to pay now, click on that button, and then it will take you to the Ghana.gov platform where you obtain the tax bill, and then you make payments. And now you can make payments at all banks across Ghana. And then also you can use the mobile app, mobile money platform to also pay your taxes.
Right.
For the mobile money platform, dial *222# and then with the tax bill number, and then you can proceed and make payments.
*222#.
*222#.
Yes.
That is the short code.
Right.
So when you dial *22, then star, then you add the tax bill number that you generated from the Taxpayers Portal, and then hash, and then you send.
Right.
So you will get the necessary notifications on your mobile phone,
right,
and then you can proceed to payments.
Right.
We require that when you file your tax returns and there is any liability for you to pay,
right,
we require that you pay the liability immediately so that we can meet our revenue targets.
Right. Mr. Akogo, how do I file tax returns on my income from foreign investments?
Okay. Thank you very much. Ghana, we are practicing the worldwide taxation principle.
Right.
What it means is that if you are a Ghanaian, you are responsible for developing your country. So if you have an offshore income, you ought to disclose it in Ghana. So first, you have to register on a special voluntary disclosure platform or portal.
Right.
Special voluntary disclosure portal. You register with it, and the platform or the portal is svdp.gra.gov.ga.
Right.
Then you sign up with your Ghana card with your email address. With that, a link is sent to you for you to verify. If you verify the information available, you complete the sign-up process, then the information is made available to you, because through exchange of information, GRA now has access to the accounts of residents whose income are offshore. This information are with us. So we say, okay, come to the GRA and regularize. So we are saying that even if you come to GRA regularize by registering on the portal and making a declaration and confirming the information that is available, your liability is established. If you are able to pay those liability, any penalties that is associated with that income that you earned previously but could not pay taxes on it, you are forgiven those penalties. So basically, it is up to you as an individual who have earned income offshore. And being a citizen of country, you have not, disclosed this income. You go to the SVD platform, portal, register with an email address, and be able to regularize the payment. Basically, this is how you register.
Just to add to it, with the special voluntary disclosure platform.
Yes, please go ahead.
Okay. So for people who have not filed their income tax returns, their tax returns for the past years, they would use the platform, the special voluntary disclosure portal. But in this current year that we are educating you, we expect that you will use the personal income tax returns if you are an individual. And then for CIT, if you are a corporate entity, you would have to use the return. But for past years, you would have to go to the special voluntary disclosure portal and do that, so that the penalties will be looked at or will be waived by the Commissioner General.
In terms of the filing the tax returns, do you have a situation where if I'm coming to pay, like you said, this will pop up then, pay now?
Yes, pay now.
Do you also have a system where it will ask you pay all or pay like your own amount that you want to pay if you don't have all to pay at a go?
So if you don't have all the money at hand to pay, you can click on the button and then indicate the amount that you are paying currently. It will accept it. Then you pay it, because we have installment payments. So let's say that you have filed the return, and let's say for this year you have filed a return and you're supposed to make payments. And we make payments quarterly. So the first quarter is due, but you don't have all the money. You would have to put in the amount that you want to pay and then generate the tax bill and pay. If there is any reason why you cannot pay all amount to, there's a program that you have to go to the taxpayers service center, liaise with the office manager, and then we can give you a schedule for you to go through it and make the necessary payments. So in case you have, maybe you are paying 100,000, but you don't have all the 100,000, come to us. That is why we are partners in business. Come to us, and then we will schedule a payment plan for you, and then you can make the necessary payments.
All right. Okay, so let's go to Tema and welcome onto the phone lines Israel. Good evening, sir.
Good evening, sir.
Awesome. Please go ahead.
Yeah, we are a school, and we registered on the, how do you call it? Yes, sir. Yeah, we are a school, and
please go ahead, sir.
The individual partnership is an individual sole proprietor. And we have filed our returns already, but we are not sure whether we should send hard copies.
Israel, sir, can you reduce the volume on your set, please, on your TV set?
We have filed our returns, and we have even been given the tax to pay. But we are not sure whether we should still send the hard copies to
the GRA office.
Hello? Kabako. Oh.
Yes, sir. You are not sure whether you should send the hard copies to the GRA office.
Do we still have to send the hard copies?
Okay, so they'll respond, please.
Right.
Thank you very much indeed. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for your question. So what happens is that
Mm.
for the return is on the taxpayers portal.
Right.
There are attachments that they add, the financial statements that they add to it. That one too can be scanned and put it on and placed on the taxpayers portal. So if you have done that, then there's no need for you to bring the hard copy to us.
Right.
But if you have not done that and you want to submit the financial statement, some of them don't know how to upload the financial statement to it.
Right.
But the return itself, the one that is statutory, the prescribed form is on the taxpayers portal.
Right.
If you have done that, no
You
need
don't
for
have any
yes.
issues. Okay, no need to send the hard copy.
No, please.
Okay, all right. Thank you very much. So this one says, good evening and thank you for the wonderful program. Please, I'm a taxpayer in Bolgatanga, that's the Upper East Regional Capital. I tried filing my company's returns via the portal, but the year of assessment column is only limited to 2023, and there is 2024. What do I do? This one is from my very good brother, Karim Kuri.
Okay, so when it comes to return, I mentioned earlier
Yes.
that it relates to past information. Okay, so if you are filing your return, the portal will make available 2023, 2024.
Yes.
2025 is
Okay.
a current year.
Mr. Akogo, hold on. I think he's called onto the show, so maybe he can, he can expatiate. Good evening, sir.
Yeah, hello, good evening.
Bro, Katuma.
Oh, yes, on Kevin Toma.
Have you laughed, yeah?
Well, I am back on man.
Baba Yuri.
Kino Bahanandi, are you a number, Sandman?
Yes, sir, right. Please go ahead, sir.
Thank you for the wonderful job that you are doing for Mother Ghana.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Yeah, I really appreciate this program. Is very, very important. I wish it to continue even on daily basis.
Right.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
The concern I have, first and foremost, I tried to file somebody's return this afternoon.
Right.
And after I entered into the person's portal, everything, I noticed the year of assessment.
Right.
It's still limited to 2023. There is no 2024.
Right.
I did all that I could. I couldn't even type in 2024.
Wow.
So I ended up, in order that the person doesn't default, I ended up selecting 2023 in order that I could file. So after I did that, obviously it didn't affect whatever corporate tax that existed on the portal.
Right.
So may I know how this problem should be handled?
Okay.
My second question is also, why can't GRA, at least, sometimes we don't forget, these businessmen, they work to pay taxes.
Right.
Some of them, as a matter of fact, they are engaged in just supplies. They go around, they do supplies, whatever they get, the withholding tax is deducted as source.
Right.
Yes, I agree that when the year ends, they're supposed to pay tax too on profit. But here is the case: once the person is not able to pay the amount that he has been assessed to in a particular year, he is not able to get tax clearance. Anytime the person goes in, they will tell him he owes. But in actual fact, even withholding taxes deducted on his behalf have not reflected on the platform. And rather, it is the supplier or the businessman that suffers. They should look at that aspect too. At least they should give some, time lag one can file for these things. Because when they file, okay, when they do the business, that they will be able to pay tax.
Absolutely.
And if they don't get the tax clearance too, they are not able to do the business.
Right.
And then some of them are falling out of the system. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Karim Kuri, calling us all the way from the Upper East capital, Bolgatanga. Yes. Who would start?
Okay, that's a great
It's a long
question
one,
that
yeah.
he has asked about the filing of returns.
Yes.
Like I said, we have due dates for filing return.
Right.
Okay, so in the year 2025, 30th April,
right,
for individuals, okay, sole proprietor, we are expecting them to file return for 2024.
2024, okay.
The immediate past year, 2024. Now, if you don't file the return for 2024, penalties are imposed.
Right.
And the penalties are punitive in the sense that it is 500 Ghana cedis for default in the payment, the filing of return, and 10 Ghana cedis any day that the return is in default. If you want to file, you are ready to file, we should help you to file. So you go to the portal and click the year of assessment in which you want to file your return.
Yes.
And that information populates for you to file.
Right.
If you don't key in the year of assessment, then you cannot file.
Right.
If you filed a different year, then it means that the system will not accept that
what
return.
you are inputting, okay.
So you should know the year in which you are filing. If it's 2023, you key in 2023 year of assessment, then you file the information and the system accepts it. The only consequences available is that you pay penalties from the 2023 to the current year.
Okay.
So we encourage a lot of people that due date is April 30th. Let's all file our tax return to avoid penalties and interest.
Okay. I don't know whether you add something, but before you come in, there's one person on the line. Let's take the person. I'm told Abel is on the line. Good evening, sir.
Yeah, good evening.
Yes, sir. Please go ahead.
Okay.
Hello. Gabi.
Yeah. Good evening.
Good evening, sir.
Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity to also ask questions and also contribute towards this program that we are embarking on. And I appreciate your efforts. The program is a very educative, and I encourage you to keep it up. Thank you. My thumbs up for you. A quick one. In my case, the withholding tax component that we've been withholding for our suppliers, in my case, I'm in the field of education, and what I do is I pay facilitators and others.
Yes.
But sometimes we don't get the Ghana card or the TIN numbers for those clients. And we've been paying their withholding tax every now and then.
Right.
You'll be there and they will come to you that the withholding taxes that they've paid so far, it doesn't reflect on their records or what have you. And even our suppliers to complain. So I want to find out from the tax authorities, what provisions have they put in place to cover those people who couldn't provide their information, or those who also pay their withholding taxes but are still not able to get their tax credits.
Right.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much indeed, Mr. Gabriel, calling us from Accra. Yes, you want to. Maybe you would hold on with that, finish with Mr. Kuri's response, and then come in with Gabi's own, if you have noted it down here.
Okay. What happens is that I wanted to find out if he has not filed for 2023.
Yes.
Then it means that the portal will not give him the right to file for
2024.
Because we are now taking 2024 returns.
Right.
However, if the system is still showing that it's because you see 2023.
That was when he mentioned that you have to pay a penalty.
Yes.
Before it okay. Right.
But if he has not filed the return, you cannot even generate the penalty. Okay. The return needs to be filed because it's an information that we require you to file.
Okay.
So if he has filed that return and still the portal is showing that he has not filed 2023, then he can walk to any of the taxpayer service centers and then we can rectify that for him.
Okay.
If he thinks that he has filed the previous years, it's still pending.
All right.
The reason why it is not going is because he selected 2024, and now the return type is 2023.
Yes.
There's no way it will go.